Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Today I want to talk about when you're coming in the Dubai market to invest in a property. There's a few things that I like to call it the value index, okay? When you're investing in property in the Dubai market. And what is in the value index, okay? Some of the things that we look at is price, quality, developer credibility. I want to talk about all these, just these three, okay? There's a lot of other things that you can also look at. I'm just going to talk about these three things: price, quality, developer credibility. First of all, price, okay? There's a saying in real estate that you end up making money at the time of making the purchase in real estate. It's kind of like a funny thing. Um, it's not a law. I wouldn't say it's a principle, right? Because it's more a saying, okay? Why do I say this? Because you could have bought something at a certain price and then the market really went up, okay? And when the market really went up, you found that you actually benefited even if you bought it at a higher price. But those are exceptions, and exceptions don't count until they become the norm. The norm is that most of the people make money in real estate when they're buying at the right price, generally speaking. Okay, if you pay too high a price for something, generally speaking, it's going to be challenging for you to make money. So the real estate in real estate, there's a saying which is very popular, and it is kind of true that you make money when you buy at the right price. Now, nobody can really judge or truly know what the right price is, but you can have certain guidelines on what the relative right price is. By the way, guys, if you like the content, if you like what I'm saying, hit the like, subscribe, and bell icon. It does something to the algorithm. It spreads the word around, and other people can see it. So, if you're coming into the Dubai market, what's the true measure of price? Okay, for those of you who know this or don't know this, I'm going to tell you the true measure of price is looking at something on a per square foot basis. Okay, looking at something on a per square foot basis. Like, I'll give you a very simple example. Those who are uninitiated, if you have a property that's a one bedroom and it's 1 million dirhams, you might be like, oh, that's really great, but maybe it's expensive for you. And then when you look at like another property but let's say the size is about 800 square foot, okay? So about 800 square foot, 1 million dirham, you've got price at 1250 per square foot, okay? 1 million dirhams, 800 square foot, okay? Let's say I give you another property that's 900,000. You're going to be like, oh, that's amazing. I'm going to be saving money on this, right? If you think that you're saving money on this,
Think about it again. What if I told you the size of this property is 500 square foot? Now you see your per square foot price has gone from 1250 to 1800, which is a good 550 dirhams difference. Okay, so every square foot you're paying 550 dirhams more. Okay, so the price has really now got to go from 1800. So here's the trick: in that area, when the price goes to 2000 dirhams per square foot, you would make 200 into 500, a million dirhams. But from 1250 minus 2000, 750 dirhams per square foot multiplied by 800, you're going to end up making 600,000 dirhams. So the true measure is in its relative price. Okay. Now, when you come into the Dubai market, the downtown area is priced at about 3,000 plus per square foot. Not bad, but it's a prime area. Prime sea facing is priced from anywhere between 4,000 to 10,000 dirhams per square foot. Central areas are priced between 2,000 to 2,500 per square foot. It's closer to 2,300 per square foot. And then residential areas like JVC or John, Dubai Sports City, these are priced at 1,500 dirhams per square foot. Now, wherever the market is, if you find that the market's still going to go up, fine, great. You know, these downtown prime sea facing, these will just go further up. But the likelihood of 1,500 dirhams moving up to 2,000 is a little bit higher than prime location prices in terms of luxury moving up further 1,000 dirhams, 2,000 dirhams per square foot. So, and I'm not saying it's not bad, it's not ugly, there's nothing wrong with it. You can like prime properties, buy them, pay the premiums, pay the per square foot price. But if you don't and you want to go more residential, then you pay the 1500 dirhams per square foot pricing, because it just feels that you're taking less of a risk today. So that's the price. Like, you've got to really look at per square foot pricing and then do a comparison. Okay. What about quality? Okay. What about quality? The thing is, a lot of people compete. A lot of people promise great quality in their marketing collateral. In Dubai now, we don't just go with marketing collateral. We go by what's been delivered, and we go by what's been delivered, and then people are now living there for the next 5-10 years. Next 5-10 years, or 3 years, or 4 years. And how do you know? You just go and visit the building. Go and visit the project. Go and visit the townhouses. Go to Google and just look at the Google reviews. People will put Google reviews, and I'm not saying that people should put negative reviews for anything. I'm not encouraging that, right? But that's the fact of life. People will who are really bothered and who've been really hurt will sometimes go and put a Google review. I think most of the time it's done out of people want to give and share information with others. Mostly it's not mischievous and it's not criminal, but for buildings you can just go to Google reviews and just have a look and see what's the problems, what's the good. And some buildings have great reviews, right? So I see developers, like there's this one developer that we work with, and we sell their property with confidence, because I see like people who've been living in their buildings for 2-3 years give them great reviews on the management, on the quality, the fixtures and the fittings that they've used, so on and so forth. Last but not the least, it's a developer. Last but not the least, this is not the last. Like, there's something to be said about developer credibility. What does developer credibility means? Developer credibility means it does what it says on the tin can. Basically, essentially speaking, what it says on the tin can is what it does. Okay, it does what it says on the tin can. So the developer says, we will do this, we'll deliver this, we'll give you this amenities. And then if the developer credibility is to stand by with anything, then they should have delivered 4, 5, 6, 7 projects in Dubai. Okay. Now in Dubai, delivering a project is very different to the rest of the world. Like everybody else, like everywhere else, it's going to be different. Like if you go and start living in London, it's going to be different, right? Just living in London is going to be different. The way the cabs work, the way the streets work, the way the restaurants open. Imagine doing something as not complicated, but as complex as doing a development, right? It is going to be a little bit different, right? Very simple. So it's it's not very complicated, but you've got to see how many projects they have delivered. And ideally speaking, what you want to be doing is you want to pick up something on the uptake, like this, like uptake, right? So if you take up something on the uptake, it's going to be super, super good, which means what? The lowest level of maturity means that they've only delivered one. The price is going to be really low. The highest, imagine a Y and an X axis. On Y, you got maturity, and on X, you've got price. So if you've got Y and X price and maturity, if the developer is really not mature, the price is going to be low. But as the developer gains maturity, price is going to be higher and higher and higher, right? You want to catch them at the sweet spot when they're very early stage. When they're very early stage. You don't want to catch them when they're fully mature and developed. It's kind of like a football player analogy. Like if you had a football player and you wanted to look at a football player and you said, okay, look, this football player is really good. Well, there are clubs that take in football players at very young age, 11 to 16, and they're developing them. At this stage, that football player is very desperate. He wants to go train. He wants to make a name of himself, and they're not that expensive to have. Like the club might be paying their room board, they might be paying their some money per week. I don't know, but post 16 to 18 or 16 to 19, this is where their true talent is coming into its own place, and they're starting to think, okay, this football player has promise. So some clubs will take them on at that stage. They might cost them like a few £100,000. But from 18 to 22 is when that player starts maturing. And from 22 to let's say 25 or 26, they start commanding big money, right? To have somebody like Ronaldo or Messi today, it's going to cost you like £500 million. But back in the day when Ronaldo was at Real Madrid. Sorry, please do not be cross with me on my football knowledge. But when Messi was earlier days in Barca, as you guys like to say, please don't be cross with me with my football knowledge. But back in those days, the earlier days, they were not that expensive. Today, it's 500 million plus. This is the story of David Beckham. Like, David Beckham did not go to the US just for a salary. He actually apparently had it in his contract that he was going to be given a franchise team. And I think he got one in Miami. And I think Messi's got a similar thing in his contract that he gets part ownership of that team. Like, that's a big deal, right? So developer credibility matters. But if you go in too late, too mature, you're going to pay premiums. You go too early, it's too risky. Okay, guys? So I want to share a couple of these things with you. Hit the like, subscribe, and bell icon. Ciao for now.